A video with a model who doesn't feel comfortable is not only going to look unnatural, but it's also going to be quite an awkward experience for the model herself, which is completely unnecessary. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a couple of techniques and tips that will do the work. Remember that your model is a hero of your video. So how she feels is going to be directly felt by the viewers as well. An uncomfortable model may come across as shy, nervous, awkward, but maybe also arrogant. So it is your responsibility to make sure that she feels safe and comfortable during your shoot. Number one, building rapport. So it's much easier to work with someone that you met before. However, in many cases, when you're going to be working with models, in most cases, you're going to meet them for the first time. So it's important to build rapport. It's important to build a connection, like you know each other. Because in many cases, your shoots may be quite an intimate experience, both for yourself, but especially for the model. When I'm working with a model for the first time, I really make sure that I'm going to meet her. And it doesn't mean that you have to meet in real life, because we have internet. We can just, set up a call and get to know each other. And in many cases, those are just casual talks, like, hey, tell me something about yourself. What kind of things do you like, or what kind of movies do you want? So there are so many different topics that you can use to build rapport. So the next time, the model that you're going to meet for the first time is going to work with you. You're already gonna feel a certain connection that you know each other. And from this also comes the trust. And especially with the videos that are a bit more sexy and sensual and glamour, I think and especially when it comes to collaborations, that's when it's very important that the model feels like she knows you already. And here's actually a story of my own, where it's actually not the model was the one who felt uncomfortable, but it was me. And as a matter of fact, it was my very first nude shoot. And this was in Osaka, Japan, 2 years ago. And a shoot was a little bit complicated. I'm pretty sure that for a lot of, non-professional viewers, when they think about filming a beautiful woman naked, that sounds like the best job ever. But seriously, for me, I was nervous. I didn't, it's like your first time. It's like losing your virginity, but then like in a more artistic sense. So, and furthermore, on the day that I was filming with her, I had to move from one city to another. So I had to check in the Airbnb. I had to set up the whole list. I actually ended up buying some big red candles on the train station, and just set it up around a small, like a Japanese bath, and then lit it up. And that was my whole idea. But I was super nervous. I didn't know what to say to her. I didn't know how to lead her. I didn't know what was respectful and tasteful and what wasn't. So, but she helped me with it. She helped me just by talking with me, So she came to the flat, and then we just started to talk. Like, hey, what's up? What kind of things do you like? We talked about different things. Of course, for not too long. But this conversation really helped me to be more comfortable. So it's not only about the models, it's about the professionals, about the artists as well. And in my case, I'm sure, I was super nervous, and it helped a lot. So again, the number one is building rapport, building the connection. Make sure that you get to know the person before actually working with her. Number two, act normal. During a shoot, there is absolutely no need to pretend someone you are not and to hide your feelings that you're feeling. You know, so if you're a little bit shy, if you feel a little bit comfortable, it's fine, it's okay. You know, at the same time, if your model feels uncomfortable, you know, communicate to her or let her know that you absolutely don't expect her to be perfect whatsoever. You know, you just want her to be professional and she wants you to be professional as well. And usually as soon as you get going, you start working, then everyone starts to relax, everyone starts to get in the flow. And at the same time, avoid any kind of, you know, status and entitlement dynamics. Never have an attitude like, hey, I booked you as a model, so you have to do what I do. And this goes actually both ways, because, you know, sometimes you will be working with a model or even a celebrity who has a big following and is very popular, and this can be a little bit intimidating as well. So just be cool. You know, on the set, this is a trusted space, you know, where you create art. It's a process of creating something amazing, and just be cool with each other. Just act normal, and this way you give each other a permission to just be yourself. Number 3, lead her. So whenever we are talking about a collaboration or a paid booking, your responsibility is to tell the model what she has to do. You have to lead her. And even working with the most professional models, don't actually expect her to come up with her own ideas, especially on the set. You know, that's your job. And even if a shoot is a simple improvisation, where you just expect the model to be beautiful and act sensual, tell her that. You know, don't assume anything, because the last thing that a professional or a non-professional model wants is, you know, a director or an artist who doesn't know what he or she wants. And that being said, the direction doesn't start on the set alone. You know, it starts long before it, because it's also about sharing ideas before the shoot. You know, telling a little bit about the project, about your vision, perhaps sending some examples as well. You know, so you are the director. You know, it's a very responsible task, and so make sure to fulfill it well. And when I'm directing a model, I make sure to give her specific instructions. However, at the same time, I want you know, to give her as much freedom as I can. You know, I want her to be herself. I want her to be the best version of herself. So in many cases, I don't say, you know, go from A to B or wherever, or I don't tell her to act this way, but I give her some suggestions like, okay, be free or be seductive, whatever it means to you. And this way, you know, you enroll in this very interesting process of getting the best, both from the artist, but also and especially from the model. Number 4 is break the ice. You know, sometimes the vibe is just awkward. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter what you do or what you say, you just feel uncomfortable. And that's why that's the very important moment to break the ice. And again, don't expect it from the model. That's something that you should probably do. And breaking the ice can be very simple. You know, it can be some kind of silly joke. You know, it can be some kind of anecdote or perhaps something you do. I remember one time just having a pillow fight with my model. Of course, completely respectful and playful, but that was a good way just to, you know, get out of your head and into your body. You know, and physiology is also very important. You know, your state is really influenced by, you know, how you move. You know, when you're jogging, when you're running outside, you cannot feel stressed. On the set, especially when you're filming inside, you don't have so much space. However, as soon as a model, you know, starts acting, that's when, you know, the energy flows. And this way you can actually also get into a artistic flow. And after that, you know, the rest is just magic. Number 5, give her feedback. Facing a camera can be quite intimidating. That's why when you are working with a model, you know, again, doesn't matter how professional she is, make sure to give her feedback. You know, tell her that she's doing it fine. Tell her that this is great. You know, if she does something that you don't like, or something that is not really aligned with the vision of your video, tell her that as well. And I think actually one pro tip that I can give you from my experience of working with women is avoid any kind of cliches. And by cliche, I mean saying something like, oh wow, you are really beautiful. You know, when you're working with a model who is very attractive, she hears that sentence every single day. And she hears it from a lot of, you know, Mr. Nice Guys. And this can be really triggering. You know, so, you know, no matter how amazing the vibe is between you, you know, professionally speaking, of course, you know, hearing something like this won't really help. Be a little bit more specific, you know, that she dressed up amazingly for the shoot, or that she was very well prepared, you know, with the sets that she brought, or her ideas about the video, this way. And during the shoot itself, give her constant feedback, like, okay, you're doing great, wow, more of this is great, etc. Number 6, and this is really by far the easiest one there is, which is just use music. The music is probably the fastest way to create a nice vibe, and especially when you have a certain mood in mind. In my case, personally, I take my Bluetooth speaker, you know, whether I'm filming inside or whether I'm filming outside. Outside, especially convenient, you know, because then you can just go to a beach or to some kind of, you know, beautiful location, and you can just use some music. And this helps, again, this helps the whole vibe, this helps a model to feel more comfortable. And at the same time, it's not only the music that you're choosing, but you can actually ask the model to bring her own music, because that's going to help her to get in the flow much easier. Okay, so number 7 actually comes with a story, before I actually tell you what it is. A few years ago, I was filming in Rotterdam, Netherlands, and I was filming with a model that I was very excited about, because this is a model that I am following for some time, a professional model. I had to pay her for the shoot. I also had to, you know, arrange the shooting location, which was in this case a hotel room. We were both very excited about the shoot. And to be honest, all the tips and techniques that I mentioned until this moment in this video is what I used during that shoot, and nothing was working. Okay, so the shoot was 4 hours long, and 2 hours in, I felt that I was about to finish the whole shoot. There was simply no connection between us. The vibe was very awkward. You know, everything we were saying to each other was just polite, and you know, there was it just wasn't working. You know, and again, I paid a small fortune for this shoot. However, I felt like, okay, we are not going anywhere. You know, she was really great when it comes to, you know, the way she acted. However, I felt very uncomfortable and awkward. And I felt that I wasn't really able to do my job right. So this is 2 hours in. And in all honesty, this was in a hotel room. I said to her, like, listen, okay, I am just going to... I bought myself a bottle of red wine. There's a mini bar, knock yourself out. You know, whether we're going to work, or if you want to go home, or if you have any ideas, just make yourself a drink. I'm going to do the same. and just relax. You know, I told her that I am satisfied about the results so far, but when it comes to myself, I was basically done with the shoot. Long story short, actually, when we had a drink, and of course you cannot drink too much, and especially when when both of you are driving, then alcohol is actually absolutely not an option. And if you are a gentleman, you will not be drinking when the lady is not able to. So, you know, when it comes to alcohol, please be careful. But I find it, again, a form of a icebreaker. It works to loosen up. It works to get in a vibe, to have a little bit of fun. And in many cases, the videos that you're going to create, like lifestyle videos, you know, you really want to communicate fun. So if all the techniques and tips that I mentioned until this moment in this video are not working, maybe alcohol will. But this is completely on your own responsibility. It doesn't work for everyone. As a matter of fact, if you are very professional, I wouldn't be doing it at all. But it worked in my case, and this is also one of the tips in this video. Number 8, the last one. The last one is very simple. You know, trust the process. You know, sometimes the only thing that you can do is just be professional and do your job. You know, if you're creating an amazing video, just focus on that, stick on that. Think about the lighting, think about the camera, you know, don't think too much during the shoot. You know, if a model is feeling uncomfortable, that's all right. You know, most likely she will get there. You know, if you feel uncomfortable, same story. You know, just do your job, keep it simple, you know, have fun as well. You know, make an adventure out of it, create something beautiful, create something attractive for others to watch, and a reason for them to follow you and the models that you are working with. And yeah, that's about it. So I hope that you like this video. If you have your own favorite techniques, please share them in the comment section below. Please like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done it yet, and also make sure to subscribe to my email list, because this is actually the place where I keep, where I'm sharing my pro tips exclusively. So there will be a lot of things that I'll be sharing on this YouTube channel. However, at the same time, make sure to be on my list as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.